After helping over 20 e-commerce brands build out their email marketing systems in the last 5 years to generate a combined total of north of $40 million in revenue, I've been able to break down the methods I use to help e-com brands start email from scratch and to do email marketing without all the trial and error. And if I was running an e-com brand and I wanted to start taking email marketing seriously, there are 6 key things that I do immediately. And our first step of the day, step number 1 of 6, is to go get set up on Klaviyo. Klaviyo integrates seamlessly with all major e-commerce platforms. It provides advanced segmentation ability, automated flow capabilities, has every integration you could ever need, and is designed specifically for D2C brands. And it's how tons of different brands are able to generate anywhere from 30 to 50% of their total online revenue. So what you're going to want to do is head over to Klaviyo, sign up, connect your store, and ensure that all product and customer data is syncing properly. You're going to want to do this in order for your automated flows, segments, and campaigns to work properly. Next, you're going to need to set up your branded sending domain in order to comply with Google and Yahoo's bulk sender rules so that you can stay out of the spam folder. Finally, set up one main list, which all of your subscribers from your email collection forums and your Shopify checkout will get funneled into. On to step number 2, which is massively important to the rest of what you'll be doing in email marketing, because it's where up to 90% of your email list subscribers are going to come from. And that is your pop-up form on your brand's website. Think about when you're spending a ton of money on paid ads and your site is getting a ton of traffic. A good pop-up form transforms website traffic into leads, maximizing the value of your ad spend. By being able to remarket to these leads through email, which is essentially a cost-free channel when you compare it to the expense of paid retargeting ads, you can drive their first conversion much more efficiently and cost-effectively. First, you're going to include the best offer that your margins can support. This might be a discount like 10% off, it might be a gift with purchase, or maybe it's free shipping on their first order. The truth is, every brand's customer demo reacts differently to different offers, and it's worth testing your offer to see what resonates with your customers the most. Next, you're going to make the form visually appealing, making sure that it clearly displays your welcome offer in the header and that it's as easy as possible for site visitors to fill out. You're going to ask visitors to subscribe to email on the first page of the form and subscribe to SMS on the second page of the form. Now, even if you don't have an SMS marketing strategy in place yet, there's no harm in starting to collect phone numbers now, and you're going to thank yourself later that you did. Finally, you're going to set a trigger for the pop-up, such as immediately upon a website visitor's site arrival, 10 seconds after arrival, or maybe it's on exit intent. And if your pop-up is dialed in, the rest of your process is going to be made way easier. For example, say you had 0 people on your email list, but you managed to get 1,000 people on there in a few days. Imagine how much of an easier time you'd have selling through your inventory to that initial small group of fans who have let you know that they want to hear from you. So hook people in with your pop-up form and then slowly reel them in with everything else that I'm about to show you. Now on to step number 3, which is where the meat of this whole thing is. This is probably the one single most important part of this entire strategy, because it's where we look at the content of the emails that you're going to be sending, as well as when you send them out and everything in between. Let's take a look at all the 7 core flows you need to be creating at key stages of the customer journey. So first up, we have our welcome series. Our welcome series is a series of emails that greet and nurture your new subscribers. The goal is to educate these leads about your brand, build trust, and explain why they should be buying from you instead of your competitors in order to encourage their first purchase from your brand. You want to do this by showcasing your brand story, your best-selling products, and the welcome offer that was promised to them in your pop-up form. Next up, we have our abandoned cart flow, which are emails that are going to be targeting site visitors who added items to their cart but didn't check out. The goal is to recover lost sales by reminding customers of their interest and why they should be purchasing from you. You'll accomplish this by sending 3 to 4 emails highlighting your brand's benefits, social proof, and scarcity of the products that were left in their cart. It's important to note here that Klaviyo's default abandoned cart flow actually uses a started checkout event as the trigger, which is why it's very important to set this flow up using the added to cart trigger, whereas the abandoned checkout flow will be triggered by the started checkout trigger. So next up, we have our abandoned checkout flow, which can be focused on users who initiated a checkout but didn't complete their purchase. The goal is to address friction points around value concerns. The best way I can frame this is that if everything was free, you would have a 100% conversion rate on your website. Ultimately, it comes down to value, and you need to convince them that your products are worth it. Similar to your abandoned cart flow, you can do this through social proof and scarcity messaging, along with offering proactive customer support or an additional discount to incentivize completion of their purchase. Next, onto the browse abandonment flow. Our browse abandonment emails are sent to site visitors who browse product pages but didn't take further action like adding to cart. Your browse abandonment emails are super important because it's going to keep your brand top of mind for for these potential buyers. You're going to want to build out these emails using Klaviyo's dynamic blocks to show photos of the products and remind these visitors of the items they were looking at, and then show customer reviews to earn the shopper's trust. Now, once a customer has placed their order, we're going to go to our post-purchase flow. Our post-purchase flow is going to thank customers for their purchase and provide educational content on how to maximize the benefits they receive from your products. By helping customers make the most of their purchase, we're going to increase the likelihood of repeat orders. You're going to want to share product usage tips, FAQs, and an invite to leave reviews in your post-purchase flow. Next, we have our customer win-back flow, which is going to be used to engage past customers who haven't purchased in a while. The goal is to retain customers and extend their customer lifetime value with your brand. You're going to want to do this by using special offers and Klaviyo's dynamic blocks to remind these customers of products that they've previously purchased and other products that similar customers have shopped. So finally, our last core flow is our sunset flow, which is going to be a re-engagement sequence of emails for inactive email subscribers. A sunset flow is our last attempt to see if subscribers still want to stay on our list. If subscribers are still inactive after they go through the entire sunset flow, we'll know that they've completely lapsed and that it's time to suppress their profiles, which will keep your email list healthy and ensure better deliverability for the active subscribers that do still want to hear from you. By the way, if you're enjoying this at all and you want to learn more or work with a team that does this directly, this is going to be a shameless plug, but there's a link in the description below where you can sign up to my newsletter. I send at least one every week, sometimes more often, all with the most up-to-date e-com email marketing trends that you can steal and apply for yourself. Now, step number 4 is something that's easily overlooked by a lot of brands and really email marketers in general. And that one thing is to properly define groups within our master email list. For example, in our email list, we have past purchasers, prospects, VIP customers, and inactive subscribers. Proper segmentation improves engagement, conversions, and ensures higher deliverability and ROI. For example, if a brand sent you 60 emails over the course of the last 180 days, would you be likely to open the next email from that brand on day 181? Probably not, which is why it would not be wise for them to send that email to you. Now, what if we tweak that scenario and say that on day 180, you happen to see an ad from the brand and decided to visit their website, making you much more likely to purchase on day 181, even though you hadn't opened any emails prior. So it would definitely be smart for them to send you an email in that scenario. You're going to want to use Klaviyo's segmentation features to group your subscribers by behavior and preferences. There are 2 main behaviors that you'll want to focus on when you're just starting out. The first one is engagement. So when was the last time someone opened an email, clicked an email, or was active on your website? This is important for your deliverability because you don't want to send emails to people that don't want to receive emails from you. The second behavior you'll want to group your subscribers by is purchase history. So is an email subscriber a lead or are they a past purchaser? This will inform who you want to be sending your emails to, as well as help you tailor your messaging for each group and help you analyze performance data from your campaigns to help you understand which content is converting which segment. You're going to want to start with the following 4 segments. So for evergreen campaigns, which aren't promotions or new product launches or anything else that's really important, you're going to want to send to your 90-day engaged prospects and your 90-day engaged existing customers. Now, for promotions or other really important campaigns, you're going to want to send to your 365-day prospects and your 365-day engaged customers. To make this super simple, ask yourself the following question before you send each campaign. Would someone who has shown no interest in my brand over the last 3 months be interested in the content of this specific campaign? If the answer is no, go with your 90-day engaged segment who is more actively interested in everything you have to say. And if the answer is yes, then go with your 365-day engaged segment to see who you can re-engage with this interesting content. Create your core segments and start sending, because just creating a few segments goes a really long way down the line to help protect your deliverability and gather important data on what your subscribers at different stages in the customer lifecycle care about. Onward to step number 5. What we're talking about here is setting up a campaign calendar. Off the bat, I recommend 1 to 2 campaigns a week to start with. The reason you want to have a consistent campaign calendar and send 1 to 2 campaigns a week is because you want to keep your audience engaged and build a habit of them checking your emails. If you're just getting started, this is also extremely important as it helps with your deliverability by slowly building up your sender reputation as you scale. If you ignore your growing list and just send campaigns when you feel like it, your unsubscribe rate and spam complaint rates will be high on the campaigns that you do choose to send, and your deliverability will suffer. Okay, but Elliot, I don't know what to send and I don't have time to create content specifically for email. So I hear this all the time, and lucky for you, I've got a 2-word solution that I know will work for you. Repurpose content. So whether it's from social media or blog posts, I know that you're creating content somewhere, and I promise you that content can be converted into an email with a simple CTA to go to the website and shop. If you do have time to create new content, here's a few ideas you can steal. You can share behind the scenes updates about building the brand that come from the founder's voice. That works really well. You can share information about product launches and seasonal promotions. Really anything that will get your subscribers interested and reading will do. You can also talk about relevant cultural events that naturally tie into your brand. So think of an email about Valentine's Day for a brand that sells flowers, for example. And finally, on to step number 6. This can truly be the single most important thing that you do, and that is to monitor and optimize what you're sending in your campaigns and flows. The reason is super simple. You want to find what resonates with your audience to maximize results. The easiest way to get outsized returns on your email and SMS marketing is to consistently find the outliers that drive results and simply double down on those things. So at the end of each month, what you're going to have to do is go into Klaviyo and review the results of your campaigns and your flows. You're going to want to identify high-performing campaigns and scale similar ideas. So for example, if you send a campaign that speaks about one specific product benefit and that campaign generates 3 times as much revenue as your average campaign, you're going to want to incorporate one campaign per month with a unique angle that communicates that specific product benefit, because your customers have clearly showed you that resonated with them, and that's what's driving conversions. You can also always refer to websites like Milled or Really Good Emails to identify what larger brands in your category are doing and reframe those angles for your brand. I want to briefly touch on A/B testing. There are so many tests that you can run, but your biggest levers to pull early on would be to A/B test the content in your first few welcome series emails, which are going to get the highest amount of traffic, and the time delays in your abandoned cart and abandoned checkout flows. So test 1 hour versus 4 hours and see which time delay is converting more customers. All of this together is what makes for a nice, strong, cohesive email marketing strategy. But in a video where I'm just trying to tailor advice to beginners and show what I'd do if I was really just starting out, it gets a little hard to go into more advanced stuff, even if some of that advanced stuff is the 80-20 of things that have the capacity to change everything in your email marketing. So here's my video where I go over everything you would need to know about setting up flows to essentially pull revenue out of thin air completely automatically using your email list. See you over there.